We're back here at Dentistry for Madison here on our show for Wisconsin Family Today. I'm really excited to be talking about cosmetic dentistry with Dr. Jay Hazen later on in the program. However, we're going to talk about the future, specifically our financial future. And one of my favorite guests, Sue Peck from Evolution Financial, is here. Welcome, Sue.
Thank you.
It seems like I've talked to you every place except for Girl Talk now.
Right.
So
well, let's work on that.
Interview. You want to come on a restaurant show?
Sure, why not?
So,
Not a good cook.
so today we're specifically talking about to transforming your financial future. And a lot of folks, when they think about their future, they might think about their growing families. What, if you're starting out or just starting to grow your family, what are some things that people should be thinking about in terms of their finances?
So everybody starts thinking about how they're going to decorate the room, right? You know, what the name is going to be, but you really also need to think about what kind of medical care you're going to need and how much is that going to cost? And what does your insurance cover? Do you have the right insurance? You know, you have to start thinking about time off because this child will need to be taken care of. Again, then you also have to think about childcare. Where is this child going to be taken care of? Is it going to be at the home? Are you going to, you know, use daycare? These are things that you need to start thinking about.
Pretty big things too.
Yeah.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah.
And where are some areas you can save as you prepare for a baby? Not that I'm having one, but for folks who are.
Right, so everybody wants to think about buying the best quality stuff for their baby. They also need to think about the fact that this baby is going to outgrow that stuff within like 10 minutes. So there's probably another baby that's outgrown it in 10 minutes as well, and you might want to start thinking about used things. So we've got Craigslist, you've got the Facebook Marketplace, you've got secondhand stores. You can buy cribs, clothes, toys, things like that. You can really save a lot of money there.
I know I've always, whenever we've bought clothes for a friend who's going to have a baby, we always try to buy clothes that are, you know, something that they might need 6 months down the road because I think people think newborn baby, let's buy newborn clothes.
Right.
But they only get to wear like half of them and then they're too big.
Exactly.
Yeah, we've also found that if you buy clothes for the season that's coming up right now we're in summer, buy it for winter.
Yeah.
Right.
That is really valuable.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. So, well, now once you have that list of all those things that you're going to need, and it's a long list, how do you start to prioritize those things?
Right, so then you got to start thinking about your budget. You know, what do you need in the immediate sense? What do you need in the long-term sense? Are you going to start saving for your child's education? What are you going to do about your own retirement? Because your own retirement is still sitting out there as a big goal that you want to achieve. So you really start having to weigh everything out. And this is where financial planning really starts coming into play.
Yes.
Because you need to talk to somebody else saying, you know, what should I be focusing on? Where is my emergency fund? Where should it be? And, you know, you have to remember things like you can borrow for your child's education, but you can't borrow for your own retirement. So you really do need to remember that even though you think your child needs to be the most important at all times, you need to remember that your goals have to come in there too.
Yeah, your kid's going to go to college no matter what, but you may not be able to retire if you haven't prepared.
Exactly.
So, yeah, and I know you're very passionate about financial education and making sure you are passionate about empowering people to take control of their financial futures. Let's start a little bit younger than adulthood, shall we? When is it a good time, and how can you involve children once they get to be a little bit older in their own finances?
That's when they get a little bit older, that's a great time to get a bank account. You know, really start teaching them the importance of money and how it can be used. So you get them a bank account. Maybe you're giving them, you know, an allowance of some sort, whether it's for doing chores or just because that's your kid and you want to give them some money. So you can also treat it kind of like a company retirement plan. If you put a certain percentage of your allowance into your bank account, I will match that for you. So that kind of encourages that kind of saving. Also, you know, maybe think about that child wants to save for toys or whatever, but also encourage them charitable giving. You know, there's a really good time. Let's think a bigger picture. Let's think about what this money can do for more people than just yourself.
And I know that people who are conscious about their financial planning really do take into account what can I give back. I mean, that's a very important part to them.
Absolutely.
I got to tell you, I'm blown away by that idea of doing a company retirement plan for your kids where you match. That's amazing. I love that. What an incentive.
That's a great idea.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, another place, one of the things that my parents did was they had a priority list on the refrigerator. And, you know, kids are always asking for stuff, right? Like, when can we do this? And I want to go on this vacation and I want to do this. And then my mom would use the priority list kind of probably as an excuse.
Yeah.
Look at the list and say, you know what, that's not real high on the priority list.
Sure, yeah.
But it's also teaching your kids that there's a give and take when it comes to life. If
Yeah.
you spend your money on one thing, then you have to not have that money around to spend it on something else.
Right.
So you have to prioritize things.
Absolutely. Yep.
What are some of the financial planning items that people often miss, though?
So one of the things that people miss is you're growing your family and you might not have a will. So it's a really good idea. You got to start thinking about protecting the people that are around you. So you should have a will, and you should make sure your insurance is up to date and your beneficiaries are up to date. And also think about life insurance. You now have this child that is
Yeah.
depending on you, and should something happen to you, you want to make sure that that child is taken care of. So life insurance is often something that people kind of don't realize that they need at that point.
Oh, sure, yeah.
So much to talk about. I always feel like we never quite get it all in. We're out of time already, but Sue Peck from Evolution Financial, thank you so much for joining us today. What great information.
Thanks for having me.
Don't go away. There's more Wisconsin Family coming up right after the break, so stick around.